b squared. They are not. The lettering must be identical, and then we group those things together, and so we can know which ones that we are putting on the specific headings and doing our arithmetical operation of adding and simplifying the terms that we are given. Okay, so that is how we simplify algebraic expression with different terms. Now I can give you another example and we can see if we have really grasped that. Okay, now suppose we had this one. So a second type, just to make certain that you're convinced that you can do it for yourself, it would have been 3x and it's minus 2y and it is plus 4z, and then we continue minus 2x and then it is minus 3y and it is plus 5z, and then we also have plus 6x and then it is plus 2y and it is minus 3z. Look and see that the letters at the end of the numbers are identical. It tells us that they belong to the same category, and it doesn't matter how long the question is spread. That is what we are asked to do when it says simplify. And then it puts us right back. So the name of the members of this set is just X, really. And then we're going 6 and 3 would have given me 9, because we remember our rule for BOMDAS, addition must be done before subtraction. And then we can say 9 minus 2 would leave us with 7. So that we get 7x, okay? Now we're looking at our y's and seeing what's happening here. So we have negative 2 and negative 3. So in terms of the negative family, we have 5 of them. And then these must be joined to a positive 2. Which number is greater? And it is negative 5. And by how many? And it is negative 3. So that is why this would have given us negative 3 here. All right. And then we have positive 4z with positive 5z, and we're going to get 9z, and it is minus 3z, which is going to give us plus 6z. And that is what we are doing here in terms of simplifying the algebraic expression. Okay? There is nothing else complicated about that. The things that are alike are grouped together and we get that. And then I know some people would have been saying, but Miss Weston, I could have said plus 2 minus 2, that is 0, minus 3y. And then somebody would ask me, but how come I have the same answer and 6 and I did not get the same mark as the other? Because I would tell you, you're breaking the rule for BOMDAS. Sometimes we get through the cracks, but when we make rules in mathematics, it must stay forever. Okay? So don't try for any shortcut. Don't try and say, oh, that's easy because I can do so and so. Use the specific rules every time. Addition must be done before subtraction. Okay, and so that would have been the simplification for that number. After this, we can still have simplification, and in terms of using our multiplicative property. Let us see how that is done. So we will do 2 specifically, hinging in the branch of multiplication, where we are asked to simplify. And it can go something like this. We can have negative 3pq in a bracket, negative 3pq in one bracket, and it's multiplied by, and it is negative 3q, negative 3q. All right? And it is multiplied by. Multiplication takes us into the realms where we're dealing with signs first. All right. So here we want to say a negative times a negative would give me a positive. Good. Then we would be saying 3 times 3, and that is going to give me 9. All right. Do I have anything to multiply P by except 1? So we know that we are writing P, and then we multiply our Q's, and we remember from our indices that this is Q to the 1, and that is also Q to the 1. And when we multiply, it is the indices, the little number at the top, the index. Don't throw away those definitions because they're important. The little numbers at the top for multiplication for our letters that comes into play. And when we are multiplying, we say we add the indices. So you have Q to the 1 times Q to the 1. And when we add 1 with 1, we're going to get 2. And that is how we get Q squared. All right? And that is the answer in terms of our simplification. Now, if we are mathematicians, we're not going to see a plus in front here because it's understood. So your answer would appear 9p Q squared. And that's the answer. Okay? So in terms of your multiplication, that is what we are doing. One more sum to show you exactly that even if it gets more complicated than that, we can still do it. So what do we have this time? And it is given that we would have to simplify, and it is m squared n times, in a bracket, negative mn in our bracket, and it's times 5m squared n squared. Okay, 5m squared n squared. Now, again, we have our rule that we're going, and we're looking at the signs first. Without a sign here, we know it's positive. So it's positive times this negative would give us a negative, and then it's negative times this positive would still leave us with a negative. So we know the answer would be in front with a negative. After that, we are looking for coefficient, the number in front of the letters. And then we have, here it's understood it's a 1, here it's understood it's a 1, and then, so it's 1 times 1 would give us 1, times 5 would leave us back with 5. So that is why we put back our 5 there. Okay? Then we deal with the first letter. And again, we know we are dealing with our m's, okay? The m's. And it's multiplication. So we know when we multiply that it is the indices that we're looking for, the little numbers at the top. And when we multiply, we add them. M on its own means m to the 1. So we have 2 plus 1 plus 2. And that is where we would be getting m to the 5th, okay? So that is how we get m to the 5th. The little numbers at the index at the top are the things that we add because we are multiplying, and that is our rule. Then we get to our n's. Again, we have n to the 1, n to the 1, and n squared. So it is 1 plus 1 plus 2, which would leave us then with our n to the 4th. And that is our answer. Easy, right? Somebody's telling you that you can't do mathematics because they have not explained the rules to you. Because once you know the procedure, that is all it's taken. But you have to sit, you have to learn them. When you're in class, you have to listen to what teachers are telling you, and not just listen, because with mathematics, unlike other subjects, it's not just listening and thinking you absorb it. You have to write it, see it for yourself, Put an eyeball on what they're telling you. Write it out. See if you can understand, because what has to happen for mathematical content and information is that you have to make it a part of your being, a part of your understanding, before you can just understand right away what somebody's saying. So we always have to have this rough paper that we talk about, so that once the teacher has said the information, you're writing it, you're seeing if you understand what was being communicated to you. Don't just say, I'm listening. Listening alone is not sufficient. You have to put it down, you have to write it, so you can make it transferable to your number system, to your way of thinking, translating it symbolically into how you perceive things and how you learn something. Not all of us learn in the same aspect, and the teacher is one individual, and she is attending to a multiplicity of persons in that classroom with different learning patterns, with different identities, and with different styles of learning. You have to translate what she has said into your style of learning. So it is going to come from your being attentive, writing down what she has said, and then you can say it. And I have something to tell you. Good news. When you have seen this on your ABS television, guess what? I don't want you to forget. So I have it on your favorite playground, YouTube. Yes, I said YouTube. And the government will be giving you these iPods. Don't care who talk. It's the technology that you must work with. So you can go to youtube.com and youtube.com/Mastering Mathematics, and you will see this lesson and the others that I have done before. That is your playground. You are digital babies, and we have got to cater for you. And guess what? I am catering for you. See you again next time.
Join us next time for another in the series, Mastering Mathematics, a production of the Education Broadcasting Unit in the Ministry of Education and ABS TV.